So this is just kind of a capturing of some thoughts. Um, and it's certainly nothing new, but it's how it came to me and how I'm feeling it that kind of is of importance, revelation, insight, is the voice of compassion. And compassion might not be the right word for it exactly. Um, it's, but I mean, it's kind of you'll know uh, if you feel into what I'm saying, you'll know almost intuitively what I mean. Is it's the voice that and maybe this doesn't show up very often, but if you're in, let's just say, like a particularly good mood, and someone is sharing their woes or their complaints, or it's a friend, and they're not necessarily like lashing out at you from their complaints, but they're just mentioning them, and so you're kind of intently listening, compassionately listening, and then compassionately responding, or whatever it is, whether it's compassion or not, that softened place of response to what someone is saying. And then kind of like, what does that feel like internally? What does that feel like to be in that place responding to someone like that? And then juxtapose that with possibly your routine inner voice. Or rather, this is how I began to experience it, as like, oh, I need to be making a choice between these two phenomena. And of course, it's like, there's the idea of like, being more positive with yourself, or being more of, more of a lot of things with ourselves that can help us grow. But for me, it's like, I can put the words on, I can apply the logic of these notions, these ideas, and these abstractions. I can apply the logic, but it doesn't actually change the density. It doesn't change the structure of what I'm like feeling into, or what I'm feeling come through me. And so I had a conversation 2 nights ago with 2 different people, both very lovely conversations. And one of them, the person was just describing, it's like, from the perspective of their highest self, they're not doing anything right. And then from this other friend of mine, the perspective of something that is what may have been their higher self, or their highest self, or the thing that's above their highest self, that they were writing conversations that they were having with God, or how God was speaking to them. And so just between those 2 people was really the union of opposites, that one was applying their psyche, their mental activity, to writing a compassionate letter from God, like a friend listening to woes and providing gentle encouragement. Okay, so that would be probably a better term, encouragement. Providing gentle encouragement, and then the other was, I mean, it's tough because it's like they're both kind of encouragement. One is just coming from a very hard place, and the other encouragement is coming from a much softer place. And so where I'm cluing in with this, what I kind of cued into was, regardless of if I can even get the words out, even if I can even feel the words or even begin to express what it would be, having a compassionate God encouraging me, having a loving, supportive God encouraging me. And that's what people always talk about, like, God's loving and supportive, and you're going to hell. And so that's maybe not the right that's maybe not the right diagram to have for the circuit. There's no cachet for that. And so having a better, Y Combinator diagram for my circuit in order to bring together streams of consciousness, streams of information, using a different network effectively, and then combining the information that I have, rather than going into like a rote fear trauma response for my combinatrix, going into it's not compassion, going into a soft encouragement, and then combining the elements from that place. And like I said, I don't even have the words for it. Like, I don't have the words for myself to match that place of knowing. I don't have without it feeling inauthentic, which, when it's like feeling inauthentic, it's actually that is going to be triggering. Like, that's going to make me feel, unscrutable. Like, I can't trust my own authority. And, surprisingly enough, it's not as though what I'm talking about is the actual solution. Like a solution to being hard on oneself or something. It's just feeling two different paths, and how they're either coming together or they're coming apart. And so in the fact that they're a part of an internal dialogue that's touching all of the different decision making, because it's more than just what I'm speaking, it's how I'm receiving information, and how I'm going to deal with the information. And it's not that it's not important to have the get up and go and the charge through things kind of mentality, but that is maybe not like the best resource base for calm relaxation, or it might not be the best resource base for creativity. And so kind of shifting what pipe goes where, what feeling state goes with what impulse, and And it could even be that these kinds of things get confused for us, or got confused for me, because someone might think they're encouraging, but they're actually just insulting. Or someone might uh, think that they're encouraging, but they're actually diminishing or invalidating, or someone might think that they're insulting, but they're actually encouraging. And so just kind of like really piecing that, like spreading those flavors out, getting those different ingredients and elements separated again, so that I can look at what combination I actually want to be regularly imbibing. Even to the point where it's like simple, like morning routine choices could be made with a softer encouragement, and in a feeling state of softer encouragement than in a feeling state of harder encouragement. And so just like really kind of piecing that together, that there is a functional difference between the two, and in one might not be any more right than another. However, to at least recognize the conditions under which both are occurring, and possibly the limitations under which both are occurring. I apologize, this is really scattered, but yeah, so it's like that's just what I've been working with in my feeling state, and how it, how it comes through in all of my actions. So enjoy.